Coming to you live from deep within inside the Wrestle House. My name is Karl Karufel, alongside, yes, a returning Bubba Duke this week. And we have got a very special friend. First time on the show, we have got the Wordsmith with us this week. The Wordsmith will not be on camera this week, but that is all good because we will be able to audibly hear him. And welcome to Turnbuckle Talk.
I
Wordsmith.
am omniscient. You do not need to see me. I am ever present. And I am happy to be on this show.
Oh, Wordsmith, you are freaking amazing. And I absolutely love everything that the Wordsmith has been doing with Poetry of a Promo on
Say
Love
it again, I'll pay
Wrestling.
you more.
Poetry of a Promo. It is absolutely amazing. Classic promos done in an amazing poetry style reading. And it is absolutely fantastic. Bubba Duke, I'm going to let you take this just for a moment here. I know you got some news that you need to kind of tell everybody.
Yeah, I got a job now. And unfortunately, you seen me on the phone starting the show, and I just got called into work because somebody didn't show up for their job. I love being the on-call guy.
That's okay. We did get to see Bubba Duke for a few moments here. Darnell, thank you so much for coming by. We really appreciate that. Yeah, so Bubba Duke has to take a powder, which is perfectly fine because, well, yeah, it's all good. I mean, work calls and you got to go. So this episode is going to be myself and the Wordsmith, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. This is going to be a fan appreciation show. So whoever decides to come in, we're going to kind of talk about and discuss whatever is on your mind, which is absolutely fantastic. Bubba Duke, do you have a few minutes, or is this like a have to go right now type of situation?
I got 1 minute. Can I just drop? Because I've been wanting to do this for 2 weeks now.
Do what you got to do.
My match of the week, I'm going to jump ahead of everybody here, so maybe you could talk about it later, is from Wrestle Kingdom 11. Kenny Omega versus Okada.
Thank you. I have just watched the 4 of them. Yes.
Well, see, it was supposed to be last weekend, and I was talking to Karl here, and it was like Karl and I never talk about what's going to happen on the show because we want honest reaction from each other, right?
Call it in the ring, as it were.
So yes, exactly. So it would have been like perfectly meshed because they were talking about Kenny and the Japanese wrestling coming to the States and stuff. So I was like, I had no clue. And I was just watching through some matches that Kenny Omega had in New Japan, and this was one of them. And I was like, wow, this is this is their first time they meet. It was at Wrestle Kingdom 11. First time Kenny Omega challenges for that title. It was phenomenal match. I recommend everybody watch them, like the Wordsmith. You'll enjoy every minute of it. Trust me.
They are long. but
Yes, worth
goodness
it.
gracious, they're worth it.
The storytelling.
Just to show, just before, I'm sorry to cut you off. I watched all four. Actually, I haven't watched all four of them. I think I'm halfway through the fourth one at the moment, and I even watched them with the Japanese commentary because you don't need the language.
No, you don't.
They tell a story. It works.
Isn't that what I always said, Karl? When we're watching wrestling, I'm like, you could turn the commentating off completely and be able to understand what's going on if the wrestlers tell the proper story with what they're doing.
Yes.
Like, hence the match that I watched with what pay-per-view was that? The last one here with the Lucha Brothers and
Triple
FT. Yeah.
Triple Mania.
Yes.
It was not great in English, let me tell you. I was not impressed.
When I watched it, the commentators, literally, I didn't hear them.
Yeah, half of them, you heard Stryker, and you did not hear that other gentleman.
Yeah, it was an incredible match from AEW. Like, it was just, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, and that's what's amazing about professional wrestling. Good professional wrestling is that you don't always need that commentary to be able to understand and feel what is actually going on. Yeah.
Some of the best matches I've watched, honestly, the commentators didn't say anything themselves. They just, and at the end of it, they went, wow, that was a great match. I didn't even know what to say. And they leave it at that. And you're just like, really? Yeah. There's nothing you could have said that would have made that any better. So
Right.
it's on that note, though, I do need to take my my leave and get to work. Sorry I couldn't stay longer, people, but got to pay bills.
It's all good. Thank you so much for coming by here, Bubba Duke. Yeah, definitely. Hopefully next week will be different, but who knows? Who knows? We've always got friends that are willing to come on and help out where need be. So it's absolutely fantastic. You have a good shift. Be safe out there, and we will talk soon.
Have a good one, guys.
Ta-ta.
So there we have it. Bubba Duke getting the phone call and having to go to work, taking that powder and on the leave, which is perfectly fine. So it is now the Wordsmith and myself. Now, Wordsmith, you do poetry of a promo, and I want to read out something here to you, and then I want to get your reaction to it. So
turning the tables on me here.
Right?
Appreciate this. Let's see how this goes. Journey down the rabbit hole, as it were.
I think a lot of times people always kind of want to put a bow on everything, but it really doesn't work out that way. I think part of the reason I've had such longevity is that I go with the flow and I follow my heart. Did I ever expect to be 31 years on the job? I can't say that I did, but I can't say that I didn't. That there is a quote. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but that just kind of fills everything there. That is a quote from Mr. Chris Jericho, talking about his longevity inside of the ring, talking about possible retirement from in-ring competition. I want to hear your thoughts on Mr. Chris Jericho and what his contributions to the world of professional wrestling, not just the Canadian professional wrestling, but professional wrestling as a whole has been.
I think, I have mixed opinions on Chris Judas as my future best friend, Danhausen. Yeah, I'm name checking him. Deal with it. We will be best friends. We have to be. And if we're not, well, that's the universe to decide. So my opinion on Chris Jericho would have to be, it's a long story, because I did grow up watching Chris Jericho in the ring, mostly in WWF, WWE at the time, or WWF at the time. And I always thought this guy is a rock star. Turns out, with a little bit of research several years later, I was like, oh my goodness, he really is a rock star, or at least trying to be one.
Yeah.
Jury's still out on that, whether or not he is.
Right.
And the defining moment for Chris Jericho and Fozzy would have to be their cover of ABBA's SOS. Judas
Right.
is a banger. However, go and listen to SOS and tell me it's not their best song. Do it.
No, I agree with you. It 100% is. Love it.
But getting back to the subject at hand, I would have to say Chris Jericho has contributed quite a bit to not only Canadian wrestling and not only international wrestling, but at a certain point, it becomes more of a, you need to know when it's not about you. And I feel like we're in the it's not about you phase. If you look at the last match he had at a pay-per-view with the multi-man MMA. I'm not allowed swearing on this show, am I?
As long as you don't drop the F-bomb, it's okay.
The flaming dumpster fire that was that American garbage team match. I feel bad for everyone else who was not Chris Jericho and not a UFC fighter in that. That's my personal opinion. At me in the comment section. I don't care. Whatever. Y'all have opinions.
Right.
But I feel like it is time for Jericho to either step back a little bit or, boost somebody over the edge that needs to be boosted, because we have not seen that yet in AEW. You could say, yeah, he did it with Orange Cassidy, but did he really, though?
Just very little.
Very little. And I love what he's doing in AEW, except for the stuff with the Inner Circle is so played out now that it's over and past the Pinnacle. This is the issue. And I want to see Chris Jericho, but I also want to protect Chris Jericho from Chris Jericho himself. So, yes, long story short, I love the man. I respect the man. But Chris, you're complete garbage at commentary. Stop it. It's over. Just be an agent if you have to. I don't like this downgrade of the Jericho Hall or whatever alcohol thing you want to talk about.
At 51 years old, he has had such a lengthy career. And he's actually quoted as saying, I think one of the reasons why I've had such a long career wrestling wise is the diversity and constant evolving and reinventing that I do. And I think that is something that has been absolutely fantastic when it comes to Chris Jericho, is that no matter what, no matter how the times change, he is able to adapt and change his character to whatever it needs to be. He has not wrestled since the Inner Circle defeated Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, and American Top Team in that cluster of a matchup, 10-man street fight at Full Gear.
I felt like it was a street fight on my eyes. I'll be perfectly honest.
Right? Oh, who is that we see in the comments right now?
It's that is Mighty Joe. I believe.
Mighty Joe coming in and saying, howdy, boys. Joe, it is so good to see you. I don't know if you're at work or not. If you're not at work, send me a message if you want to hop on here, because this is just an open forum fan appreciation type of show that we're doing today. No particular rhyme or reason or run, so to speak, for this. Just hopping on here. JPJ coming in as well. Evening, gentlemen. JPJ, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. JPJ and Pluggo last night had just a super quick, well, it was an hour, super quick show that just talked about the NXT show that happened and a couple of names within that show. And they were talking about Johnny Gargano and Kyle O'Reilly, two names that we are pretty sure are going to be done with the company. So yeah, that was a really, really good discussion. And I was super happy that they actually just kind of asked me to be on there, because yeah, I love hopping onto streams. It is absolutely fantastic, and it's just super fun. And this was an amazing conversation that we had. Mighty Joe, check your Facebook Messenger, please.
Oh
and
no, I
thank
don't think
you.
I'm legally allowed to be on this stream anymore with Mighty Joe. If he's, I think there's a
Oh.
conflict of interest. But no, it's fine. I will persevere. No, I'm kidding, folks. I am totally joking. I miss that man. It's been a while.
It definitely has been. Thankfully, he was able to hop on last week, I believe it was, for it was last week for the Showstopper segment he decided to hop on for, which was fantastic because, yeah, he was able to. And it's been a while. So it's very nice when we can have other people on this show because sometimes just listening to my voice, just isn't the greatest.
Well, then could we listen to my voice for a moment?
You sure can. Go ahead.
We brought up JPJ.
Mhm.
And I believe there's a problem with someone else.
Okay.
And yes, we're going there.
I'm going to pull Mighty Joe in here while you discuss what you
it's-
have to talk
it's
about
fine.
here. So,
Hello, sir. Permit me to vamp for a moment.
Hello.
JPJ and Pluggo, this is directly towards you. Mostly Pluggo. 4 Christmas trees was too many. And now I hear that there is 5 of them. No. Hold on. This goes to serve my point. That's 4. Why is there 5? Can you please confirm if there is 5? And if so, stop it. See? This is enough.
Oh, there's a fifth.
One was enough. It's Christmas. It's not a forest in your house. If Zach is an alien, and we have confirmed that, then we can confirm this evening from me, the wordsmith himself. 4 Christmas trees, 5 Christmas trees is too many. 1 is just enough.
they did name the movie 4 Christmases, not 5.
It wasn't 4 Christmas trees.
Mighty Joe. Oh my goodness, my friend. It has been a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And we can see that you are at work, so we know that we can't have you on here for very long. But I'm so happy that you came on, especially for something like this, which is just a fan appreciation type of show that we're doing here. I'm super happy about it. And I do want to let everybody know that coming very soon, Mighty Joe and I would do our kind of year-end show where we would kind of just go over a few different things that happened over the year. Well, this year I have done something a little bit different and a little bit special that I will not divulge just yet, but I can tell you that I will need the fan interaction to be able to answer and give me some of the answers from these categories. But there is something very special that I've been working on for about 2 weeks coming up that I think everybody will be quite excited about. Mighty Joe, how have you been? Talk to us for a few minutes here.
Yeah, I mean, I may not really be a fan of professional wrestling anymore, but I'm still a fan of Turnbuckle Talk. I mean, I'm one of the founding members of Turnbuckle Talk, so obviously I still pay attention to what you guys are doing. Like I said, I'm extremely out of the loop when it actually comes to the actual professional wrestling product as a whole. But you'll still see me occasionally.
And that's fantastic. I mean, we can't ask for anything more than that, right? JBJ saying that he will have confirmation by the start of Between Two Beards on the 5th Christmas tree. Oh,
Disgusting
my
behavior.
goodness. Speaking of Christmas, Mighty Joe, how has it been for you at your place of employment? You don't have to divulge what or where or anything like that, but how has it been for you in this Christmas season?
Interesting. I think that given what's going on, I think a lot of people are still more or less kind of staying at home. Wasn't really a non-event. There are still people that came out shopping, but I think that there's still a lot of factors at play. I mean, obviously, there's still people that have a tremendous amount of fear. The people who wear the multiple masks, the face shields, and then in the other extreme, you have the people who just ignore all the safety protocols and just go kind of as they are. But yeah, man, it's been a mixed bag of good and bad, and it comes with the territory. And if you can't handle that kind of stuff, then you shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So that's just the way it is, man.
I want to get an opinion from both of you here. For the first time, really, we're going to be seeing the WWE doing a show January 1st, and they're calling it Day One. I'm going to start because Mighty Joe, I know that you don't have a lot of time. I'm going to start with you super quick. I want to know what your thoughts are on the WWE actually capitalizing on something like this, creating a pay-per-view called Day One and giving professional wrestling on the very first day of the year 2022.
I mean, it's all going to depend on what the context of that Day One meeting is going to be. Like, are they going to bring back legends and have it be like a rewind to the good old days? That's what they're thinking of Day One, or is it just going to be a New Year's type of thing? Who knows?
Just a New Year's Day show.
All I say is just make it interesting and give people a reason to watch. That's really all I say and ask for. Give me a reason to care and want to tune in, because like I said, I haven't been watching the product on a weekly basis, but seeing kind of what's been kind of going on, it doesn't give me any desire to watch. If they can produce something that generates a little bit of interest, I might even check it out, but no guarantees.
Wordsmith, what do you think of the WWE actually creating something for the very first day of the year?
To quote the great Meatloaf, Mighty Joe, you took the words right out of my mouth. And I am not a fan of the WWE.
Sorry.
I'm not speaking to you. I'm not speaking to this gentleman at the moment. We will move on. I'm not watching the product of certain companies at the moment because, well, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you can't. You can't fool me a second time.
Or a third time.
Or over decades, but never mind, I digress. But yeah, no, I mean, I look forward to seeing if they change anything, and I hope they do, because meh.
Meh.
So, with the show, I will kind of put out there that there is at least 2 matches on this show that I'm actually looking forward to. And first off, Pluggo, thank you so much for popping in here. He says, studs, what's good? And then here we go. Pluggo coming in with Wordsmith. I love you. How nice.
Pluggo,
Nothing for me.
I enjoy your company. I enjoy you as a human being. However, there are limits. And the limit is over one Christmas tree. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We will not be friends until, I don't know when you take your Christmas trees down. You put them up far too early. So I don't know until they come down and I have video evidence and proof that they are gone.
All right, boys, I got to head out.
All right, Joe. Thank you so much for popping in. Love you. Take care, and we'll talk soon.
See you boys later.
Ta-ta, sir. Ta-ta.
So, Wordsmith, I know that you've said that WWE is not your jam right now, but there are 2 matches that I did mention that I am kind of interested in, and I want to get your take on this as well. So the first one, they just kind of set this up a little bit, which is absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Edge taking on The Miz. I think that there is going to be an absolutely fantastic matchup. The work that the 2 of those guys can do in the ring is phenomenal, beyond belief. It definitely is phenomenal. So I think that this matchup is going to be absolutely fantastic. What are your thoughts on that?
I could not actually disagree with you on that. I 100% agree. I've always been a fan of Edge, and people don't really like The Miz because over the years it's been kind of hit and miss with The Miz. Hit and miss with The Miz. See, they do call me the wordsmith for a reason. But I think it's good on paper, and I think it'll be even better in the ring. So
I think so as well.
I might catch a YouTube highlight. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
Jamie, thanks for popping in. How many do I have up? Unfortunately, right now, 0. I have 0 Christmas
in the same
trees.
boat. Mine is in a box in the closet. So it's coming out next week, I hope.
Mine is in a box at a store that I have to still go and purchase.
Oh my My lord, sir.
Well, this last year,
There's polar
personally,
opposites on this show
a
right
lot
now.
of different things happened. I am very much so a Christmas person. I absolutely love the Christmas season, and there is a time where I actually had 2 Christmas trees inside of my home. I had one
Where's the
upstairs
leave
and
button
one
on this?
downstairs, but I don't anymore because of personal situations that happened. So I have to go and get myself another Christmas tree, which I'm perfectly okay with. So this next matchup that I'm kind of excited about, and I know that a lot of people kind of are like, with this, but I'm actually, with this. We're talking the WWE Championship, and we're actually going to get a triple threat matchup. Big E versus Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens for that championship. For me, I think that this is a perfect matchup to have. You got 2 big guys in there, Big E and Kevin Owens. You've got Seth Rollins, who has been a workhorse, who can go toe-to-toe with anybody. And I think that this is going to just be a really amazing showcase of talent in this matchup. What do you think?
Could not agree more. Actually, I 100% agree with you. I just think I already know the ending of this match. I don't know who's going to pin him, but I think we can all kind of figure out. Well, he's from my neck of the woods in Quebec, and be that what it will. Kevin Owens is probably not going to win the WWE, whatever the title's called now. That the thing that looks like jam, or is it the blue one? I don't know. I don't watch the product enough. But those gentlemen in the ring, they're all fantastic. And when I heard that Big E was the champion, you can't be sour. So
Not at all.
No issues with that. I love it.
I absolutely do too. Big E having that championship is great for business in my eyes. It 100% is. Big E has worked his ass off to get to the point that he's at, and through absolutely everything, through all the different stuff that they've had him do. And I know that the New Day is something that they all 3 of them have really embraced and loved, because it just allows them to kind of be themselves and be really hyped up and stuff like that. But to kind of have him going out on his own in a singles capacity, winning that championship, still holding on to the values of the New Day, but kind of his own person, really just warms me up.
Well, I mean, you just mentioned someone who did that fantastically well when they were still in the same company. Talking about Edge and Christian, because they were a tag team, but they were also made up of single wrestlers who could go. And also they started in a faction. And, maybe during one of my Halloween episodes, I may have done one of the greatest promos that are absolutely terrible to watch again. But still, I digress. Go watch the Brood episode. It's great. But, I love the fact that they've let him keep being Big E. And the fact that they've let him be that character still, because that's where your money is. The New Day is money. They've made money off of pancakes and cereal.
Right?
Who else has done that? Gigantic names in professional wrestling have done that. I will not say that person's name because I have so many issues with that particular person. 80s tall, blonde, problematic, moving along. I'm so happy to have a person like Big E, specifically a person like Big E, be that next generation amazing talent who I don't actually not want to see and I don't get tired of. So
I
hot
think
takes.
Very much so. One of the biggest comparable names that I think I can give is the Macho Man Randy Savage. Okay.
If that's where we're going, I totally yes. The other guy,
Macho
not so
Man
much.
Randy Savage. How many freaking Slim Jims, and still to this day, you talk about a Slim Jim and people go, ooh, yeah.
They don't even know who it is.
Exactly.
But it's, it's the longevity. It's just who's the man who had a little bit of a problem before he would do promos, but it's fine. He was great. And he's an icon.
Right?
So there you go. That's how you move merchandise. That's how you make a character that lasts.
It definitely is. And the New Day, in my eyes, is on that level as well.
Exactly.
100%. Oh. Do you watch much MLW?
You know what? Let me tell you a little bit of a secret.
Okay.
Here at Castle Wordsmith, I just started watching it like 2 weeks ago for their Thanksgiving special or whatever it was. So good. That ladder match. Oh,
Right.
my only problem is there's a certain individual coming to that company, but I am all for second chances. I hear they've changed their ways, but I wait with bated breath, if you will, to find out if that's actually true and whether or not they can not give themselves a concussion while doing a simple move. But no, it's fine. It's fine.
Is that name a 3-lettered name?
I don't want to talk about it, but yes, it is.
Okay. Okay.
No, I mean, I will be honest, as the resident promo professional, the pontiff of the promotional material here at Love Wrestling, I have to say that man is just brilliant. And I'm talking about Enzo here, folks.
Yeah.
In case you weren't aware, just magic on the mic. I mean, not always great, but he was always good. And I feel with time away, with the fact that it's like, okay, a little bit of a controversial guy. I don't know all the details, but he rubbed people a lot of the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I am happy to see that, that he's working at least. And I do look forward to hearing him in the more uncensored version that we have at MLW, because that was interesting. Never heard F-bombs on a wrestling show before. That's like, oh, wow, that wasn't just a slip up on the we forgot to edit that out.
Nope, not at all.
No.
And
really
that's something
angry.
that I love about the company as well, is that it's open, it's raw. There's no censorship within it, and they just put it out there, and it's put out there for free.
I do like free 99 quite a bit.
Available on YouTube. How you doing? Certified G, and a bona fide stud. I try. Thank you.
You know what, folks? If you'd like to hear me try, go listen to the Certified G bona fide stud episode of Poetry of a Promo. It's good. I promise.
You did one?
Well, my predecessor did.
Okay.
But, he's been sacked. He's just the worst. But his content was pretty good.
Well, that's good.
People say I look a lot like him, but it's not true.
MLW has actually issued a press release. They issued this, I believe it was today that they issued this. I can.
Yes.
So, Major League Wrestling will enter the masked world of Mexican Lucha Libre as it presents MLW Azteca, a standalone miniseries premiering Thursday, January 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, featuring the grandest luchadors of Mexico clashing with Major League Wrestling's best of the best. MLW matchmaker Cesar Duran presides over the action from sold-out arenas in Mexico to underground fight clubs. MLW Azteca is the next chapter in our ongoing anthology series, and it will take MLW, its wrestlers, and our fans to a very different and thrilling setting. How freaking amazing is that?
The only thing that we're missing in that entire press release, and for those of you that know the history of Cesar Duran, and we know people that look like him, weirdly enough, speaking of people that are compared with other people for some weird reason I don't understand. The only thing that I was missing from that very fascinating read that I just heard is this event will be full of unique opportunities. That's the only thing that was missing. But apart from that, I am so excited to hear and see MLW. Was it called Azteca Underground?
Just MLW Azteca.
Azteca.
Yes,
Give
not
it to me
underground,
now.
just Azteca. Right?
Give it to me now. Give it to me all the time. Why do we have to have a short series? Make it longer. Make it amazing. I was a huge fan of Lucha Underground, and I have a feeling that this might be very similar. Can't tell you why, but I hope that my my ideas could be correct.
And what's interesting with this is that MLW does their shows in series. So the series finale of MLW Fusion Alpha is going to air Wednesday, December 15th, which concludes a 13-part miniseries. So it'll be very interesting to see how many episodes are going to be done with MLW Azteca over this next little while. And I'm sure that all of this is stuff that has been already pre-taped, the majority of it, I'm sure. But I'm super excited for this, and it appears as though that it is actually going to be replacing Fusion Alpha, but it's moving to Thursdays instead. So it's actually going to be opposite Impact Wrestling.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm not concerned about either's ratings. I think that people that love both are going to watch both because they're both really good. And, you know, I've been a fan of Impact since quite a few years, since before the troubled times and then after the pay-per-view times. And I've been in and out of that company as a fan so many times.
Right.
And I always go back with a smile on my face, and then I don't want to watch it for a while, and then I hear something and I'm like, nope, I'm back, and it's awesome. But no, I'll watch both. I am watching both at the moment, and yes, give me more wrestling on a Thursday. Why not?
Right? Exactly. Why not? I mean, there's no reason why we can't at all.
Exactly.
Impact Wrestling, I've been a fan of that since pretty much the very beginning. The 6 sides, 100%. A beautiful invention there with a 6-sided ring. The Jeff Jarrett days. I don't want to mention the HH era. Yeah, because that just killed things way too quickly and was really unfortunate. The Dixie Carter era wasn't too bad
Didn't
either.
do too much better.
It didn't, but it was better than the HH era,
Yeah.
I think. And to today, I mean, lots of people had the idea that Impact Wrestling was going to be done, that there was going to be no more Impact Wrestling. And it just seems to always continue to find a resurgence. And I'm super happy about that.
Do you know why?
I love it.
Because they're hard to kill.
For those of you that don't know, that's actually a pay-per-view that Impact Wrestling puts on called Hard to Kill.
Is it not coming up?
I think so.
I believe so. And I believe that we actually have some interesting things about that. I'm going to give that a quick Google here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Please do. Please do. So something that I found here that kind of interested me and I was intrigued by is an article that was written about Dustin Rhodes, and he reveals a saying that kept him away from alcohol and drugs. And I'm trying to refind it here. I read it and I was like, oh my goodness, like this was just amazing. And I'm trying to see, that's what happens when you're on the fly.
We'll switch back and forth here.
Okay.
Alrighty. So not only is Impact hard to kill, but they also have a pay-per-view called Hard to Kill coming up in January. That's right, folks, January 8th. And if you're not excited for this card, I'm just looking at it now, and I'm very excited. We have in the main event for the Impact World Championship, Matt Cordona, he's going to be this man is going to be the next belt collector. I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
Versus Moose versus W. Morrissey. We have Deonna Purrazzo and Mickie James. And then, speaking of things that made TNA, Impact, Force Wrestling so good, the Ultimate X. We are being gifted, ladies, germs, lizards, babies, whatever. We are being given the first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match. Huh. So excited about this. And Jordan Grace is in the match, I believe.
Yes, I believe she is.
So
Yeah, 100%.
Take my money. And
right?
Yes. that's all I have to say about that. Your thoughts?
I'm absolutely blown away that they have finally decided to do an Ultimate X with the female talent. There is so much good female talent that is there that needs that showcasing.
Mm-hmm.
My ex-wife, that was one of her favorite matches when we would sit down and watch Impact or watch TNA or NWA TNA, as it were, in the beginning. That was her favorite. She really enjoyed watching that Ultimate X matchup just because of all the amazing, crazy shit that happened and that they could do inside of those matchups. It was fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. Like there's so many. And I don't want to bury TNA and I don't want to bury Impact, but I'll bury Global Force. There's so many bad match ideas, but wrestling is guilty of this all across the board. But the Ultimate X is just so very much an Impact thing, and I love it. Because when you watch Impact, you think X Division and the Ultimate X, and for some reason, Reverse Battle Royals, but we don't talk about that. But yes, just absolute workhorse talent that makes you want more from them. And we usually get it.
Yeah.
Because they give them time.
So I was not able to find that information that I was looking for. So I'm going to be moving on. Yeah, I'm not going. I will find that article again. I thought I had it in my tabs here, but I do not. But I will share it out onto our social media, as you see up at the top there: Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at TB Talk Pod. Now, WWE has had over 100 releases within the company since 2020. One of those names has been Stephen Strickland. I don't know if you know who that is. Do you know who that is?
I do not.
Okay.
But I'm interested now because you've said it with an intriguing tone. So
Stephen Strickland is a man who has been seen hanging out with AEW stars as of late, including Malachi Black, Sammy Guevara, Eddie Kingston, really building a bond and a friendship with these people. This person that we're talking about is Isaiah Swerve Scott from the WWE, who was recently released. He was part of Hit Row.
Oh, wow.
Right? A 31-year-old professional wrestler.
You curveballed me on that one because
I threw in a little swerve.
That's interesting. That is very interesting. Oh, I hope that happens.
Now, there's been lots of talk of Hit Row being included into the halls of AEW. But I personally don't see that happening. I don't see the entire Hit Row or even a few members of Hit Row really going over there. I can definitely just see Stephen or Isaiah Swerve Scott going over there. And the reason being is because of what he's been doing here right now, where he has been going out and talking with these people and building friendships with these guys and showing up and being seen with them He's already making that connection and kind of putting it out there for everyone else to see. Not himself putting it out there, but it has been leaked that he has been seen with these people. He's doing the right thing right now, and people are talking about it. Not just us here on Turnbuckle Talk, but I've seen multiple articles talking about this and people being intrigued by it. Wordsmith, how intrigued does this make you?
It's free press. You can't buy that type of publicity. What's he doing here? What's he doing? Where is he going next? This is how you get a brand over. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not on this show normally. I'm guilty of the same thing. And I applaud the effort, because if I could, I would. And especially as an independent contractor and as someone who wants to be something at the end of the day, why not? So if more of this happens, I wouldn't be shocked. And if something comes from it, maybe just a temporary contract. Who knows?
Right?
But me and you are talking about it. So it's something.
Yeah. Now, you talked about being a fan of Lucha Underground.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Isaiah Swerve Scott in Lucha Underground?
Yes, I do.
Now, there are talks that he may go back to that controversial character of Killshot.
I was going to say he was King Cuerno, but I've just remembered. I've got the two. I always got the two confused.
Right?
Masks. Sorry, folks. The wordsmith has memory loss sometimes. I'll be honest. It was a while ago. But would be interesting. Maybe not for a whole long-term run, but don't tell me you wouldn't watch that.
I definitely would. Now, do you think that the Killshot character from Lucha Underground could work in the field of AEW right now? Because let's be honest, is there really anyone that is kind of in that same category as Killshot?
Now, permit me to break the fourth wall here a little bit. You say controversial. Would you mind elaborating a little bit on that? If we're allowed, if it's not too controversial, because I'm not familiar with why it's a controversial character.
Well, I mean, it just really, it was a very different character, and just the look that was there, the mask that was there, it just really gained a lot of attention. And I mean, sometimes you saw people that were all really high for it, and then sometimes you saw people that were really low on the actual character and stuff. So that's why I mean controversial.
Oh, okay. No,
people were like really back and forth on it.
Well, you know, I mean, that's professional wrestling, I suppose. But if it works, if it's done right, I think that character could work. But if it's done wrong, it could crash and burn. Like that's entirely on the execution. I don't think we're able to predict what happens as outsiders at this point. But what I will say is, would it work in MLW Azteca? Maybe. Would it work on a more, I don't want to say mainstream, because that's just, I don't buy that word at all in professional wrestling. It's wrestling. Somebody got lucky and is on television more than another company.
Right. Yeah.
And fight me in the comments if you believe it, or if you don't believe that, because it's true. Some people get good breaks, some people don't. I don't believe at the moment that a character like Killshot could work in AEW, because of the fact that there's nothing really. They've tried with luchadors a bit, and my issue with AEW's lucha attempts are, besides the Lucha Brothers, and I feel really bad, besides the Lucha Brothers, who else do we have? And I forgot Andrade, because Andrade is very I love Andrade in his current iteration. I love what they're doing. I love I don't care. I'm here to do horrible things and be a questionable person, and he's all acknowledging it, and it's great.
Yeah.
But other than those three, I don't know if a Killshot would fit in there, because where would it go?
That's my thought too. Yeah, definitely my thought too. And especially you talk Andrade. Andrade really doesn't even wrestle under the mask. So I mean, yes, he does kind of have that lucha style, but it just doesn't feel lucha because that look isn't really there. Whereas with the Killshot, yes, that look of lucha is definitely there.
Exactly. I mean, I would love to see Killshot fight Dante Martin. Like, let's be real, that would be an amazing match. But where do you go after that?
Exactly.
And it's unfortunate. So
we are at 50 minutes into the show. What we are going to do right now is we are going to take one of our quick commercial breaks, and we're going to come back with a little bit of a showstopper segment that I think is going to be, for the Canadians at least, maybe a little interesting. So we're going to be right back after we listen to some words from our sponsors at Collar and Elbow Brand.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand, the wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
The dictionary defines hero as a person who is admired or idealized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. Being a hero in life is far more than words printed on a page. It takes an unwavering code, a compass that points true north, always. And in times like these, it takes sacrifice. Hero shouldn't be a word defined by a dictionary. It's a word that should be defined by the best of us. Hero has a new definition.
Hi, my name's Barry Ratcliffe. You might recognize me from such films as The Longest Ride or Dead 2. Now, as a successful actor, I have 2 planes, a supermodel wife, countless exotic cars, and a ton of cash. You might think it couldn't get any better than this, but you'd be wrong. For only $4.99, you can get OVWWrestlingNetwork.com. That's OVWWrestlingNetwork.com for only $4.99. Now, will your life be as good as this? No. Will it be better? Yes, and I guarantee that. That's not valid anywhere. OVWWrestlingNetwork.com is only $4.99. To me, so low, they're insane. Want more bang for your buck? Well, so do I. At OVWWrestlingNetwork.com, it's only $4.99 a month. In between excitement, me too. OVWWrestlingNetwork.com is only $4.99 a month. You get that incredible value. She cost me $17 million, and I loved it. Want a real value? OVWWrestlingNetwork.com. It's only $4.99. That's a price so low. Well, it's insane.
And welcome back to this fan edition of Turnbuckle Talk. Huge shout out to our sponsors over at Collar and Elbow Brand. Turnbuckle Talk is the first sponsored podcast from Collar and Elbow Brand, and I'm very pleased to say so. And if you're looking, as we've been talking about good professional wrestling, check out OVWnetwork.com. Amazing stuff happening over there. And yes, even OVW is sponsored and pretty much owned by the same person that runs Collar and Elbow Brand, and my good friend, Mr. Al Snow. So that is absolutely fantastic. So now, as I take a drink of my non-sponsored Dr. Pepper, we are going to get ready for our Showstopper segment. Ooh. Now, Wordsmith, you had talked about, earlier, kind of near you is, Kevin Owens where he's from, and that being the province of Quebec. Something very interesting has actually happened in Rawdon, Quebec recently, involving a former professional wrestler. That former professional wrestler is Raymond Rougeau from the Rougeau brothers back in the WWF days. This man has gone from being professional wrestler turned politician and is now the mayor of Rawdon, Quebec, a municipality of nearly 12,000 people located north of Montreal. What are your thoughts on professional wrestlers leaving the professional wrestling industry or retiring out of the business and getting into politics and the correlation between wrestling and politics? You got any thoughts on that?
Well, where do I go with this? You search through my Rolodex right now of quotes that I can use. You see, there's an old expression by one of who is also by a controversial character by the name of Scott Hall. And I think it rings true with a lot of things other than professional wrestling. And I think it rings true with politics as well. In these businesses, you can either make friends or make money. And once you've retired from one thing and you're already good at talking and you're already good at maybe making your way over other people, you can't even tell what I'm talking about. Am I talking about professional wrestling? Am I talking about politics in general? I think it's a perfect fit because, I mean, I don't want to go this route, but I will. Controversial. Get ready for a hot take. Block your ears if you're sensitive. Look at the last president of the United States, folks. There you go. I don't have to say anything more. And I won't. But where do you think you learned how to do a promo? Where do you think you walk? If it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it's probably been in the pond before. And the ponds are not too different.
They definitely are not that different. And it's amazing. I absolutely love seeing when professional wrestlers retire out of the business or leave the business due to injury or whatever and get into this type of an environment because, well, as a politician, you have to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're doing. You're telling a story to these people. You have to be quick on your feet. You really have to know, quick decision making, and you really have to be able to weigh out different options. And it really involves from the world of professional wrestling as well, because when you're in the back with the boys and you're kind of going over your matchup, well, yeah, you're gonna have to, really know how to approach things. You're going to have to really have a mind for it to be able to say, hey, well, what if, right? You're going to have those quick decision-making type of situations, especially in the back, because you're not given much time to build a matchup, especially if it's just an independent event where you go there and the booker's like, all right, so now we're just going to have, come on over, you two. And you're going to go out there and give us 10 minutes. Okay, go talk about it. And then you've got like maybe half an hour to be able to figure something out. And then the promo skills, you really have to have those promo skills. There's been a lot of talk about promo skills on this episode today, which is absolutely fantastic considering the wordsmith is
considering the name of my show, Poetry of a Promo. Only available, right, folks, on lovewrestling.ca. It's a fantastic show. All we do is great content on this on this platform. I was going to say planet. We are a planet unto ourselves. I don't know where I'm going.
I agree with that.
Save me.
I definitely agree with that. Love Wrestling has become a planet of its own, and it's not even fully a year old yet. Can you believe that? Major sponsorships coming to the forefront. Wrestling events that have been put on, or a wrestling event that has been put on underneath the Love Wrestling name, all the amazing content that's out there. I think we're building some future politicians here on Love Wrestling.
I cannot speak to these comments. You will have to speak to my attorney about these things, but perhaps I will be running in 20. Never mind. I'm not talking about my. Oh, my mic is being cut. That's great.
Thank you. Thank you so much for solidifying exactly what I have been saying. Wordsmith, this has been absolutely amazing. I'm so happy that you were able to jump on here and assist me in this episode. Again, it's too bad that Bubba Duke got that call to go into work. He didn't really expect it because the snow has been pretty good. There hasn't really been too much in snow and storm wise, but he did get that call because somebody else called in, which is going to happen. That's what happens when you're on call. But I can't thank you enough for hopping in here and helping out this week with Turnbuckle Talk. And that's right, people. You never know who we're going to have on these shows. If you were not here earlier and you did not see, even Mighty Joe made an appearance, which was absolutely fantastic. That's 2 weeks in a row now that we have had Mighty Joe over here.
I think it's becoming a habit.
Right? But a good habit.
Exactly.
Yes. I give you an open floor, an open platform. The podium is yours to tell us a little bit more about you and the work that you do with Love Wrestling.
Salutations. I am the wordsmith. I am the intellectual savior here at lovewrestling.ca. I present promos of all types from the 1980s to 2021 as spoken word poetry. If you don't think that that's a good idea, then you haven't heard my show. What's it called, I hear you ask? Poetry of a Promo. Only available on lovewrestling.ca. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Poetry of a Promo. What have I done in the past? Well, I'll give you the quick rundown of what happened in the last 2 weeks, and then I'll give you a little heads up for those of you that are still listening to this wonderful show. 2 weeks ago, let me paint you a picture. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the history of Ozzy Osbourne in professional wrestling with a little bit of Zakk Wylde thrown in just for fun. I suggest going to listen to it. It's a fun show. Then the next week, this week, if I've done my dates correctly, which I believe I have, call me out in the comments. Don't care if you do. We discuss the madness, the violence, the godlike aggression, or should I say goddess-like aggression of one Luna Vachon. And next week, we are taking you to a Festivus miracle that is the 12, count 'em, 12 things that'll happen to Test when he faces the one, the only, the great one, the highest paid man in Hollywood, from what I hear, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's going to be a wonderful holiday edition. Tune in next week.
Absolutely fantastic. All of that can be found at lovewrestling.ca. That is absolutely fantastic. You heard earlier in the show that you can follow the show here, Turnbuckle Talk, at TB Talk Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we don't want to forget all of our friends and loved ones that we have in this industry that help us out as well. We have talked about Collar and Elbow brand, but I do want to let you know that you can get 10% off your entire purchase when you use promo code JK Podcast at the checkout when you go and take a look at all of the amazing merchandise at collarandelbowbrand.com. And we don't want to forget our friends over at Phoenix, fnxfit.com. If you're looking for health supplements, workout supplements, or even some good workout gear, go and check out Phoenix at fnxfit.com. while there. Use the promo code TBTalkPod, and you're going to get 15% off your entire purchase. StreamYard has been an amazing platform that has allowed us to bring you video podcasts, or as I usually call them, vidcasts. It has been an amazing platform, and it continues to grow with new things being added every single week. It is absolutely fantastic. LoveWrestling.ca. We have talked about that throughout this episode. Make sure that you go and check them out for everything professional wrestling. There are different vidcasts that are there. There are audio podcasts. There are articles that are there. Even our fearless leader, Spencer Love, does Spencer Love interviews with some amazing names there as well. Not only from major companies, but also talking with those amazing independent professional wrestling stars as well. For this episode and for other episodes of different things that I like to do, go and check out Turnbuckle Studios over on YouTube. If you're watching the video right now, you see that little logo that's there, that T, that S for Turnbuckle Studios over on YouTube. And our newest friends are 80stees.com, where you can get some amazing t-shirts over there, whether it's 80s TV, music, wrestling, superheroes, 70s movies, 90s, 2000s, classics movies, different brands from different like board games and nostalgic things from growing up over the years, holidays, video games. They have a little bit of absolutely everything over there. Please go and check out our friends over at 80stees.com. While you're there, if you make a purchase, make sure that you leave in the notes that you found out about 80s Tees from Turnbuckle Talk. Wordsmith, again, thank you so much for hopping on here. Absolutely fantastic. That has been an amazing show, and you're an amazing person for hopping on here. This has been fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you 1,000 times. With
You're
that,
welcome.
that is the Wordsmith. My name is Karl Karufel. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all on the next one.